Okay, a couple things before we start. One, next Friday is the deadline for you to submit pictures of life during one of the Great Wars so that we can have them as part of our service on November 10th. We'd like to have some photographs. They do not have to be of people in uniform, just what you looked like or your family members looked like in the 1940s or there won't be any pictures of you in the 1914s to 18s. So, but maybe family members, that kind of thing. So if you could do that, that would be great. Thank you. That's due by Friday. And just get them to Joanne by email or any other method possible. And the second is, why is next Sunday the best Sunday of the year? We get an extra hour of sleep, yes. I beg your pardon? That's the second best reason it's the best Sunday of the year, because you guys are doing coffee hour. And the third best reason is that the choir all gets an extra hour of sleep and they'll be really perky next week, right? Did you like how I put the coffee and Okay. How do we know if someone cares? They try to understand us. When they understand us, even if only a little, they take us seriously. They do not brush off our hurt. They never say, it's no big deal. When we feel acutely that someone diminishes us, they get it. Welcome to Fairlawn Avenue United Church. And let me tell you why it's good to be here. I'm the minister, Cameron Watts, and every week, and sometimes all week, I get to spend time with the people here, you. These are people who listen, and listen again, and then help in any way they can, if that's what others want and need. And as much as they may joke about it and tease each other, they all think each other is a big deal. And they treat each other that way. When one of us gets hurt, they don't dismiss it. They listen until they understand. It's good to be here because no one will turn you away because you have less or even more money than they do. They won't turn you away because you are different. They have learned the hard lessons of what happens if they turn you away. If you turn away someone who is different. Because when they do that, they lose the unique giftedness that is that person. Now, even if you don't look like all of us, they won't turn you away because they're tired of hearing how wounded you are, even if you are wounded on a regular basis. Your sexuality may not fit the norm, whatever that means. Your expression of your sexuality may make them curious, but they will never make you feel uncomfortable. They will make you feel welcome. You may be too weak, too sick, too tired to contribute anything. Your time, your gifts, or out of your wealth, but they will put no obligation on you. You may have to decide how much care you're willing to receive from them. That's the only query they'll put. Welcome to Fairlawn Avenue United Church. Welcome to Fairlawn Avenue United Church, where we sit and we take in the words of the Acknowledgement each week, where we recognize the evil perpetrated on Indigenous people in the name of education or progress, or even God, where we recognize that we are descended from colonial thieves who thought nothing of displacing the Wendat people, the Anishinaabe people, Haudenosaunee people, or the people of the Mississauga of the New Credit, all of whom lived here before us and cared for this land. Here, we recognize our call, our responsibility to do the hard work of reconciliation, of reparation, of reimagining a partnership our ancestors ignored to their and our and the Indigenous peoples great loss. Welcome to a place of grace and joy in the hard work of reconciling ourselves to others. Our call to worship this morning is based on the 34th Psalm, and it is responsive. I'd ask you to respond in the words that are in bold and italicized. I will bless the one who made me at all times. My soul makes its boast in the Holy One. O magnify the Holy One with me. I sought the Holy One. And my cries were answered. I was delivered from all my fears. Look to your Creator and be radiant. Let no shame be on your face. This poor soul cried. I was heard by the people of the Holy One. They came alongside me and the messengers who bring us grace form a circle around us. Which of you desires life and covets many days to enjoy good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Through the people of the Holy One. Our lives are kept intact by those servants. Thanks be to God. I invite you to offer these words with me. Most holy friend, awaken every gram of sincerity within us. Kindle the desire to bring to you all we are, and trust you to help us see beyond all earthly ambition and treasure. Adore you with a love which is free of guile or calculation, and come to others as open-hearted people through Christ Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Scripture this morning is from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 10, verses 46 through 52, and I'll be reading from the New Century Version of the Scriptures. The disciples and Jesus came to the town of Jericho. As they were passing through, followed by a crowd, a blind beggar named Bartimaeus, son of Timaeus, was sitting by the road. When he heard that Jesus from Nazareth was walking by, he began to shout, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me! Jesus! Jesus! Son of David, have mercy on me!" Many people warned the blind man to be quiet, but he shouted even more. Just warning you. "Son of David, have mercy on me!" Jesus stopped and said, "Tell the man to come here." So they called the blind man, saying, "Cheer up, get up on your feet, Jesus is calling you." And the blind man jumped up, left his coat there, and went to Jesus. Jesus asked him, "What do you want me to do for you?" And the blind man answered, "Teacher, I want to see." Jesus said, go. You are healed because you believed. And once the man could see, he followed Jesus along the road. What's your favorite euphemism for something that's irritating you? Anybody say, that's a burr under my saddle? Or a pebble in my shoe? A chunk of wood in my eye? What's your favorite one? Come on. Yep. It is what it is. So true. You know, I first heard that from an African-American preacher in New Orleans, and he said to me after, he said, you know, nobody ever says that about anything good. It is what it is. Who else has another saying? You're just describing something that irritates you. It bugs you, sorry?
Pet peeve.
Pet peeve. Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Way in the back, Sheila. A thorn in your side. That, by the way, was not the Apostle Paul's wife, although many people say that from 1 Corinthians. Anybody else? Come on! That one I like. Okay. You guys have anything? Nothing ever bothers you, right? So, you're no help at all. This one. Pardon me? You sing all your cares away. All right, I'm done. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about one of my pet peeves, the burrs in my saddle, come on. And I want to workshop this with you, and I'm actually serious about this. It really bothers me to read or hear someone say in a time of tragedy, my thoughts and prayers are with you. Just makes me sink. There's got to be a different, because, you know, the only person I actually believe when they say that is Mandy Patinkin. Because he says, you're on my prayer list. And he says that right into the camera, and then he writes it down. I believe him. But it's so easy for politicians or religious leaders and all sorts of people to say, my thoughts and prayers are with you, and it is utterly meaningless. It's shallow. So, give me some help here. What could we say instead? I'm quite serious about this. I'm writing it down.
You are in my prayers.
You are in my prayers.
I feel for you.
Okay, one at a time. My penmanship is bad enough for you to make me go fast. Sorry?
I feel for you.
I feel for you.
How can I support you?
Nice.
I'm here for you.
I don't know what to say, but I'm glad you told me. Any one of these things is the sincerity behind the speaker that makes the difference, right?
Hmm.
I mean, any one of those expressions can be shallow if you don't mean what you're saying.
Right. So how do people know that you mean it? Sorry? Your action. Okay, like, what would the action be like?
Sending them some food.
Sending them some food. Okay.
Just calling, just being, following up.
Just following up. Mm-hmm.
Eye contact.
Thank you, eye contact. I mean, can I sit with you for a while? If you're at a distance, it's a little bit harder, where you're describing things that are, but actually you can make eye contact with someone online. You can sit with them for a while, even if you're not in the same room. You can just be with them. If you are in the same place with them, you don't need to say a word, you can just hold hands. That is huge. But the sincerity is the key. You know, if somebody said to me, you were in my thoughts and prayers, and they said, And can I pray for you right now? The sincerity comes through. They haven't just sent me a text and left me there. It's our willingness to engage at another level. One of my friends said, I think what we could say is something like, I'm holding you up to the light. He said, can you change that just a little bit? I feel like you're trying to see if there's anything wrong with me. I'm holding you in the light. And that means I'm being held, and I'm being surrounded by the light of holiness, the Creator, however we decide to talk about that. So, thank you for coming up with the importance of the sincerity, because I don't want to question some of the words that we use, as long as they're not flippant, as long as we don't, I have no idea what to say, so I'm just going to say, you are in my thoughts and prayers. Okay, prove it. Today, we are honoring our pastoral care team. We are celebrating what it means for us to care and be cared for here at Fairlawn. Cared for with a compassion that can eclipse thoughts and prayers. And I want to remind you that all of you are welcome, and we'll figure out a way to do it, to join the halo of chairs. We're going to create a halo of chairs here at the front after the service. Bring your coffee so you can talk to each other about what it means to be cared for and learn a little bit more about pastoral care here at Fairlawn. But I'm inviting you to come in and be part of the halo. It's All Saints Sunday. Do you like that halo? Yeah, I've got a bad sense of humor. So where we're going to find out more about this is the story of the blind man in the Gospel of Mark. This is one of the few people that Jesus heals who is named, and named twice. Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus. No idea who he is. Don't know who Timaeus was. But we do know this guy's name, and I think it's because as soon as he was healed, Jesus said, go on your way, and he did not do that. He followed Jesus because Jesus cared for him. And the way it played out is instructive for us. If someone needs caring for, listen, encourage them, don't do their work for them, make sure they get to the right person, and if they choose you in that moment, then listen to them, ask them an important question, and listen. Now, Jesus, I'm reasonably sure in this story, had voices clamoring all around him all the time. In this context, he has already cared for a number of people, in addition to his teaching gig. And so, of course, when he's walking through a town and he's followed by a crowd, there are hundreds of voices, and he is not going to hear all of them. And the disciples are not in a good mood right now. They don't want people crowding Jesus anymore. James and John have just been rebuked. And he'd warned the disciples that he was likely going to be put to death by the state. They were not interested right now in entertaining another request for help. Except there's this annoyingly persistent guy who is so disruptive, the crowd who wanted to hear what Jesus had to say if he opened his mouth kept telling him to be quiet. Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me. Would you please shut up? Nope, he had a need. He got louder. I won't do it again. But Jesus stopped. He heard him. Call them to me. Now, if you're going to care for anybody, you have to listen for their cry. And sometimes you have to listen through a lot of other things that are going on. And that person may even put a screen around their cry for help by talking about all the things that they're doing and all the things that are going on in their life, and buried somewhere in that paragraph is, I'm hurting right now, but you know, da-da-da-da-da-da. You have to listen if you're going to care for somebody. They may not be loud, they may not be insistent, it may be barely perceptible, but if you hear it either directly or because you imagine a little of what they are going through, listen. Now, in the story, the crowd, trying to shush Bartimaeus, does two things right. First of all, they say to Bartimaeus, he's calling you, get over to him. They encourage him in the direction of healing. And they do not help him on the way there. They get out of the way, but Bartimaeus has to drop his coat, get to his feet, and find his way to Jesus. He's blind. No one helps him. No one grabs his shoulders and points him in the right direction. Bartimaeus has to do his own work to get to the place of healing. When he gets to him, Jesus asks him a question. What do you want me to do for you? This is utterly critical if we're going to be of any good for anyone. Ask them what they need. What do you want me to do for you? Don't assume you know. Don't give them the advice that you think they need. And you may know the solution to their problem already. Don't tell them what it is. Don't tell them your story. Unless they ask to hear it. Ask them what they need. They may want advice. They may want not. They may want to hear your story. They may not. They do want the dignity of being asked. And their response respected. I want to see again. May seem obvious. I'm sure anyone hearing it before could have told Jesus what he was going to say. But in that moment, he was asking the right question of the right person at the right time. If you are online with somebody, or you are on the phone with somebody, or you are in the room with somebody who is trusting you with their vulnerability, you may not be able to do what they ask, but you are the right person to ask. For some reason, they've trusted you. Listen, encourage. Don't do their work for them. Ask them what they need. Listen to the answer. Most of us just want you to listen while we tell you why our heart hurts. And that is the essence of pastoral care.
Love is kind and suffers long. Love is humble, thinks no wrong. Love than death itself most strong. Therefore give us love. Prophecy will fade away, melting in the light of day. Love will ever with us stay.
Thank you, Cam. Can everybody hear me okay? Great. My name's Kathy Salisbury, and I probably know most of you, but in case I don't, welcome this morning. It's great to be here. And thank you very much for your words of wisdom. So this morning, what we'd like to do is celebrate our pastoral visitation team. My partner in crime, co-coordinator, is Elaine Pitts. And unfortunately for us, but fortunately for her, she's still in a car driving back from beautiful Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, enjoying the fall colors. But she's with us in spirit. So the pastoral visitation team is a team of dedicated volunteers, I've certainly learned that, who are supported by Cam, who through phone calls, visits, greeting cards, and flowers, stay in touch with those members of our congregation who are struggling with their mobility and finding it challenging to get out on their own. They might still be in their own homes, or they may be in some sort of seniors' care facility. But we're also interested in building relationships with others in the congregation who may be feeling lonely and isolated for whatever reason, and in need of a friendly face, a listening ear, as Cam has just said. If you would like a regular visit from a member of our team or know someone who might, please let us know. Or if you're interested in joining our team or learning more about us, we'd also love to hear from you. Now, in a moment, we're going to introduce our great team. A number of them couldn't be here this morning for one reason or another, but we will still mention their names, of course. But before doing that, I'd first like to introduce you to Valerie Briggs, who is another longtime member of Fairlawn that many of you know, and also a member of our pastoral visitation team. And she would like to share a few words about her experience as a team member. Thanks, Val.
Thank you, Kathy, and thank you, Cam, for a very meaningful talk. I've been asked to explain a little bit why I enjoy being on the pastoral care team, and I think because for me it's a good fit. It fits the profile of quite a bit of volunteer work I've done through the years. It's one-on-one. It clearly fills a need. And there's no busy work of paperwork. It's almost 100% of the time with the person or the situation that needs some attention. So many years ago, when I was a stay-at-home mom with time on my hands and a car, I drove for Meals on Wheels. And then later, when I was a stay-at-home mom with time on my hands, but the car died, I responded to a call from Jill Klain that she needed volunteers at Centennial Nursery School. So I did that for 12 years. So now I'm too old to chase after toddlers, and so I'm not too old to use the telephone. And with all due respect to the young people who love to text, I think the telephone is a wonderful instrument, and I use it a lot. And I have friendships outside the church where I keep in touch with people by the telephone. And I don't have to clean my house, and I don't have to cook a gourmet dinner, and I don't have to have people outstay their welcome. So I use the telephone, and hence the telephone ministry and visitation too is right up my alley. It's kind of like kindergarten. There's JK and SK, junior seniors and senior seniors. And so I see myself now as a junior senior. I'm certainly learning a little bit about this aging business, but still mobile enough that I can look up to these senior citizens, seniors, because they're role models for me and for some of the rest of us. They've dealt with a lot of changes in their lives, downsizing and selling houses, loss, illness, family relationships with daughters and sons-in-law and grandchildren, and I think they have a lot to teach us. So I find them an inspiration. Thanks.
Valerie, don't go too far. Don't go too far. Just have a seat there, yeah, okay. So this is the first time we've done this. The Experience Belonging larger team has got together, and we've been talking about how we celebrate all of the volunteers in this congregation. And each month moving forward, you'll be hearing about one of the teams. Today happens to be our inaugural appreciation. So this is the first time we've ever done it. And Cam, I'm going to get you to, do you want to come and, so we talked about, first of all, we want to acknowledge everyone. So why don't I first call their names, and please come forward, and then do we have candles?
I do.
Yes?
Yes, we have candles.
All right. So here is our team. And actually, let me also say that I'm inviting Junro up because Junro is not technically on our Zoom meetings, though I think you should be. But many of you know that week after week after week after week, June has been making sure that these beautiful flowers that adorn our sanctuary get to people in need for whatever reason, whether it's because they're going through a tough time or they're celebrating a milestone. So you are most definitely a member of our team, June, and so we welcome you to come forward, please. Other members, Valerie, who's here, Mary Chu, Rosalie Cowan. Rosalie, I don't know, are you going to be able to? Maybe you could stand up, Rosalie.
Well, I'll find Rosalie, don't worry.
Okay, we'll find her. But Rosalie, why don't you stand up? Thank you. Okay. Carolyn Deeth, unfortunately, couldn't be here with us today. Al Fleming. Al, can you come forward? Rob and Sue Metcalf. Jannie Mills. I'm pretty sure I saw Jannie. There she is. And Elaine, who, of course, is still in a car enjoying the fall colors. So, Cam, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you. So first of all, come on, guys, hurry up. Juniors, seniors, I know, that's why I'm doing this. First of all, these, would you just give them a hand, please? So as we were trying to put this together, this seemed very appropriate to us to talk about the light of the Christ candle, which I occasionally remind you is lit here so that we remember to take the light with us when we leave and to hold people in the light. And that is what these folks do. So we put together these, we have some wonderfully talented people around here. We put together some candles, and they say Fairlawn. Volunteer appreciation. We will be giving these out to other people throughout the year, but today we want to give these to our folks who are part of the pastoral care team. And one for you. These folks carry the light, they carry us, they carry the Spirit of Christ, and so what they do in a real, tangible way is embrace us and love us and carry us. I know, I'm starting to repeat myself. Sorry. So anyway, thank you to all of you for being a light to all of us and for helping us to get through each day a little bit better and for knowing that we are cared for. And thank you for bringing us peace as well. So the other thing I'm going to ask you to do while they're finding their seats again is pass the peace to each other, but I simply want you to say to each other, thank you for bringing me peace. Peace to you, and thank you for bringing me peace. So I just need to once again extend an invitation to you to join a large halo after the service when you have your coffee. And you can talk with each other and learn a little bit more about our pastoral care ministry here at Fairlawn. So that it's so easy for me to begin the service by saying words like, you're with people who care about you. It's good. We continue to bring all that we are and have into a holy presence that is lit by that which is within us and shines beyond us. And so in that spirit, we bring our offering this morning. For the prayers of the people today, I'm going to invite you to take a moment and simply imagine someone that you want to embrace and hold in the light. Someone that you might want to text or phone or get a hold of online or write them a note. And just remind them that they are being held by you. So we're going to have a moment of quiet. I just want you to imagine that person. And I want you to bring them into this holy presence that we share together. And then we will offer a version of the Lord's Prayer together. O Holy One, hear our prayers this day, and hear these words we offer together. Loving Creator, we honor you, and we honor all that you have made. Renew the whole world in the image of your love. Give us what we need for today, and a hunger to see the whole world fed. Strengthen us for what lies ahead. Heal us from the hurts of the past. Give us courage to follow your call in this moment. For your love is the only power, the only home, the only honor we need in this world and in the world to come. Amen. The late churchman Bruce Brewer occasionally wrote a poem for his folks to leave church carrying with them. And that is our sending out today. And as you can see, I'm inviting you to share in it responsively. Lunch Hour Christ. I see him busking in the mall where people hustle by. His oboe plays a haunting tune that keeps my woes at bay. His tune keens down to secret depths, then joys above the stars. But few are hearing any sound, their minds fixed on their cares. I leave him, busking in the mall. Although it starts to rain, the shoppers run for dry arcades while he plays alone. He's waiting there at home for me. When I knock on the door, he asks me how my day turned out, and I leave him on the floor. Thank you for watching. If you appreciate this content, please share it with your friends. Consider giving us a like, subscribing, and hitting the notification icon, as it really helps our channel. And as always, be good to you.